Ahoy VC, welcome to the Personal Oasis. This is the Blind Island. I'm your host Isaac, and today I'm going to be doing another segment of recent spins, the albums that have been hitting our turntable frequently and ones that I've just been kind of enjoying a lot lately, so thought that I'd share that with you. So what we're drinking today is a Deschutes Obsidian Stout, just changing it up a little bit from the coffee that's normally here. It's dark enough that you get that coffee flavor though. And we'll start it off by sharing what's actually playing right now on the Personal Oasis, and that is Pharoah Sanders' Rejoice. This was a 1981 album, I want to say, where it's really nice. It is on the Teresa Records label. It's a double album, and some people don't like Sanders' later output, but I believe that this is a very strong album. I bought this one and it was still in the shrink. It was mint and it sounds fantastic. So those of you that want to give up on Sanders after his prolific output for the Impulse label, I'd say revisit. There's a lot to enjoy, and for those of you that aren't really into his heavy skronking, you probably might find more to enjoy here, even though there are moments of that, that's for sure. So, a cool album, but let's get into the stuff that I've been listening to a lot more recently. So, first and foremost is the Heliocentrics of Infinity of Now. This was released earlier this year in February, and it's one of my favorite albums of 2020. Spacey, jazz, funk, really cool, has a little bit of a hip-hop element to it as well. If you're looking for something that sounds a little different in a landscape of music that I think is sounding very much the same, this is going to be a really great album for you to pick up. Heliocentrics, Infinity of Now. Then next I have Funkadelic's Maggot Brain. Again, this was given to me by Aramitha Alamar. Fantastic stuff. Thanks again, man, for this. This is a just beautiful copy of this album, and one I've been playing very frequently and enjoying very much so. So yeah, Maggot Brain by Funkadelic. And then I have Tom Waits' Rain Dogs. This is an original copy. Very difficult to come across copies of this now, and for a decent price. And I picked this one up after trading in a few other albums for only $3. This was a great pickup, so really cool, and it's in excellent condition. So I love this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Tom Waits is one of my favorite artists of all time, so really cool. Excellent album. Then we have Frank Zappa's The Grand Wazoo. I've been finding myself revisiting this album a lot since I purchased it not too long ago, and I find it to be a very intriguing record. If you're looking for more of Zappa's fusion material, this is a great album to get you started. So Frank Zappa's Grand Wazoo. And then I have another more contemporary artist, and that's Jessica Risker. I See You Among the Stars. For those who are fans of Sybil Bear, Joni Mitchell, Nick Drake, and Vashti Bunyan, you're gonna find a lot to love about this. This is very much reminiscent of 60s psych folk, and very experimental, but also dreamlike, and has a lullaby quality to it. I love listening to this album at night, and it helps really relax me and calm me down. You can find copies of this brand new, very cheap on Discogs right now, and I highly recommend that you go and pick one up. Jessica Risker, I See You Among the Stars. And then we have Amondul 2, made in Germany. This was made after the classic period of Amondul, and most people find this to be kind of where they sold out. But I think that there's still a lot of cool stuff here to be explored and found, and it's a little bit where Amondul took their prog sound and kind of married it to pop sensibilities. And I think that there are some really exploratory songs on here, and it's a very fun record if you give it the time and the chance. And also, it's not like you're going to be spending an arm and a leg on this record like you would on some of their earlier material. So go ahead, check out Amondul 2, made in Germany. Then here is my favorite Steely Dan album, Katie Lied. A lot of people will choose Asia, Pretzel Logic, Countdown to Ecstasy, but for my money, I think that Katie Lied is one of the best albums that Steely Dan ever came out with. It's dark, it's heavy, it has the jazziness of Pretzel Logic and Asia, but it also has a little bit of a dirtier, grittier, lived-in feel to it. I love the songs that are on here. Dr. Wu, Bad Sneakers, Your Gold Teeth 2, fantastic album with really cool arrangements and excellent songwriting. So go ahead and check out Steely Dan's Katie Lied. Then another one of my favorite albums, and that would be Leonard Cohen's Songs of Leonard Cohen. And I think that this is right up there with one of the best debut albums of all time. Leonard Cohen's songwriting is immaculate on here, and he comes right out of the gate swinging with a beautiful record for the ages. And I believe that while his voice would only continue to get better over the years, he comes out with a very strong first outing, and a lot of his biggest hits are on here. Hey, That's No Way to Say Goodbye, So Long Marianne, Suzanne, and I believe that this is an album for anyone who loves songwriters, who loves folk music. You're going to really enjoy a lot on here. And I also have the original insert that it came with the lyrics. Really cool. And I love this album. I can't sing its praises enough. I think that it's one that everyone should listen to at least once. So give it a shot, give it a chance. Songs of Leonard Cohen. And then I have a compilation, The Best of Sam Cooke. This is a record that I throw on when I want to feel good. And no one makes me feel quite as good as Sam Cooke does. He's a master of soul music, and he really knows how to get the party going. If you want to make people feel good, if you are having a get-together at your house, this is an excellent record to throw on. And I guarantee you that people will start tapping their feet to it. So, Best of Sam Cooke. And then another contemporary album. That would be Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and now for the Whatchamacallit. This came out with last year and was one of my favorite albums of last year. Really cool psychedelic rock, and it's a great new psychedelic album. One that I find myself revisiting frequently, and it's right up there with the Claypool Lennon Delirium with my favorite new psychedelic rock outfits. And I did get the limited edition splatter with the purple and pink. I'm not really a big fan of color variants, but when I do see them, I will pick them up. And this one is pretty cool. I do enjoy the psychedelic colors that they went with on here. So, really cool album, and one that I would recommend for fans of psychedelic rock music and just 60s psych in general. So, very cool album. And then finally, another contemporary album. This would be Bad Bad Hats, and this is The Psychic Reader. I think that this album is kind of an underrated gem. It definitely had a lot of elements that would become even more popular as time went on in indie pop music, and it's one of those albums where there isn't really a bad song on here. While I don't believe that it's any unforeseen classic or masterpiece, these are songs that just are catchy, make you think, make you hum, and just ones that I find myself returning to time and time again. I love this record, and I would highly recommend anybody who is really into indie pop twee music to check this out. So, Bad Bad Hats, Psychic Reader. Alright guys, so that's what I'm recently into. Were there any albums you recognized? What have you been listening to? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope that you guys have a great day on your own personal Oasis. Cheers.